This is the Epoch Times.
Welcome to Epoch Audio, showcasing the best journalism covering news, culture, and society, addressing issues overlooked or avoided by other media. For the text version of this and more articles providing truth, tradition, and hope, please go to theepochtimes.com.
Liberal MP breaks ranks, sides with Tory motion on carbon tax. A Liberal MP broke ranks with his party to vote in favor of a Conservative motion to scrap the federal government's carbon tax on October 4th. The vote received 119 yeas and 209 nays, with the Liberals, New Democrats, Bloc Québécois, and Greens voting against it. Newfoundland and Labrador MP Ken MacDonald was the lone Liberal MP who stood in the House of Commons to vote in favor of the motion, earning him the applause of Conservative MPs. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre's motion called on the Liberal government to repeal the carbon tax through legislation in a bid to bring down the cost of gas, groceries, and home heating. The carbon tax rose by $15 per ton to $65 per ton in April 2023, and will reach $110 per ton in April 26, before topping out at $170 per ton in 2030. Mr. Poilievre has repeatedly argued that the tax will lead to higher transportation costs, and as a result, more consumer goods will become more expensive. Mr. MacDonald, who represents the primarily rural riding of Avalon, has lobbied Prime Minister Justin Trudeau for a special policy in regard to his riding, including a carbon tax rebate, according to CBC News. Mr. MacDonald said he told the Prime Minister during the recent National Liberal Caucus meetings that the government was punishing the rural areas of our country and the most vulnerable people in our society, according to CBC. Mr. MacDonald said he was inspired to speak up after hearing the stories of rural Canadians struggling to heat their homes. He heard one story of a constituent who could no longer afford home heating oil and needed to wear a blanket around the house. The Conservatives have introduced several motions in the House of Commons to axe the tax, all of which have failed. On October 24, 2022, a motion to scrap the carbon tax was defeated 116 to 202 after the Liberals, NDP, and Bloc Québécois voted against it. A September 28th vote received a similar outcome, failing 209 to 116, due to opposition from the three parties. A recent Ledger survey found that a slight majority of Canadians, 55%, believe the carbon tax should either be reduced or eliminated altogether. The poll also found that 68% of Canadians were not willing to pay higher taxes on gasoline to support the Liberal government's net zero carbon emissions goal. Environment Minister Stephen Guilbeault has said Canadians are already paying a very high price tag for the impacts of climate change, such as natural disasters, and that carbon pricing was one of the best ways to fight it.
Thanks again for listening to Epoch Audio.
For more Epoch Times articles in text, please visit theepochtimes.com.
This is the Epoch Times.